All right, so I'm walking back from the gym. I've been listening to this really great podcast, and I touch about it a lot in this video, but I want to just emphasize it real quickly. I'm going to show you a lot of different ways to do these exercises. Some of them are really hard, some are really easy. And the thing that this guy is an MMA trainer, Firas Sahabi, he said consistency trumps intensity every time.
Let's say, for instance, I'm a big believer in never being sore. You should train, and the next day you should wake up feeling good.
Right.
Every human being.
So guys never worked out before?
Even your first day, never trained.
How is it possible to work out and not be sore?
No problem. Beautiful.
Okay, here we go.
So let's say there's something called rate of perceived exertion. Okay? So let's say I make you do pull-ups, and let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups you can do, the maximum amount of pull-ups is 10. Let's keep a nice round number. At 11, you couldn't do 11. If I pointed a gun at you, you couldn't do 11. Should I make you do 10 pull-ups on our workout? No. I'm going to make you do 5. Why? Because I'm setting you up to work the next day. The next day we're going to do 5. And the next day we're going to do another 5. And then we're going to do 6. When 6 is really easy, we're going to do 7. Why? If you count, if you did 10 pull-ups on Monday, you're going to be sore till Thursday. Let's say it's really your max. So Thursday, you've only done 10 pull-ups. From Monday to Thursday, you've only done 10 pull-ups. Me, I've been doing 5 pull-ups every day. So I'm at 20 pull-ups already, 25 pull-ups. I have more volume than you. Now, if you add up at the end of the year, who trained more? I've trained way more than you. Training should be a pulling force. It should be pulling you. You want to go training. If you don't want to go training, it's not fun. If it's not fun, you're not going to do a lot of it. And if you're not going to do a lot of it, you're never going to reach mastery. Because I'm a big believer in consistency over intensity. Intensity should be done once in a while, because by nature, intensity can only be done once in a while. If you're going hard every day, you're not really going hard every day. You can't go your max every day. There's a cost to going to your max, because intensity by nature entails that you need to take a break. Because if you don't need to take a break, you didn't really go to your maximum intensity.
There's a lot of people listening to this right now going, wait a minute, what? How the fuck?
Make your workouts a 7 out of 10 and do them every day. You're going to get far more training hours. You're going to spike your metabolism far more often, and training is going to be more addictive.
So keep that in mind and look at the different variations of the exercises, and do whatever you feel up to doing. Total body workout. The way it works is real simple. There are 8 different stations or 8 different sets of exercises we're going to do. You're going to go 40 seconds on, hard as you can, 20 seconds rest. After you do all 8, rest for about a minute, minute and a half. The longer you rest, obviously, the more time your heart rate's going to come down, the easier the next set's going to be. So if you want to shorten that to like a minute or even 40 seconds rest in between stations, you'll get much more cardio or even anaerobic benefit out of this. So we're going to start with a real quick warm-up, just get all the joints, everything nice and warm. Then we're going to go one time through the stations, and then we're going to go one time through the stations, showing like an easier tempo. And actually, before we get to all that, we're just going to go through all the exercises once, real quick. We're going to have like 3-5 things to focus on. The stations are high knees, squats, the beetle, plank walk, mountain climbers, step back lunges, crab walk, and runner's arms. So first with the high knees, real simple. We're going to stand in athletic position. Feet are about shoulder width or hips width distance apart. You're going to start on your toes. Place both hands, palms down right by your belly button, and then just start doing high knees. Now the goal here is to get the knees high as you can, but just starting out, it's pretty nice just to aim to try to get the thighs hitting the palms. So the biggest things to think about here is keeping your shoulders over your hips, staying nice and light on your feet, and then again getting the thighs up in the palms of your hands. After that are squats. So there are 3 different things we can do with that, but it all starts from a basic squat pattern. Feet are about shoulder width distance apart. Take the hips back and then drop them straight down. As I go down, my knees are not going to cross over in front of my toes. I really sit back into my heels, keep my elbows in, and then my elbows eventually make it to the insides of my knees. Now, I have a lot of hip flexibility right now, and you might not get here. The most important thing is to go until you start feeling that resistance right here. Okay? Stop there. Try not to fight it, because if you fight it and you're tight, you might start dumping forward. Okay, we really just want to get right in, keeping the chest tall and the gaze forward. And we're coming up. Okay, so we've got the goblet squat, which is basically just down and up, hands stay here. Eventually you can work to using kettlebell or dumbbell to increase the weight. We've got kind of a more aerobic squat where you throw the arms back, and try to pump it out a little faster. We've got the jump squat, the jump. If all of those feel really easy, you can start doing the jump squat with the knee touch at the top. Down. Okay, that's station number 2. Station number 3 is the beetle, so we'll go to the core now. It's going to lie flat on your back. It's really important to take a minute here to flatten your low back against the mat. Got a natural curve there, it's going to want to curve away, especially as you start moving your limbs. So take a minute here to really compress your core, press your lower back down into the floor. Take your arms overhead, legs out in front. And then this might feel really challenging. Maybe you hold this if you want to go with the beetle, or you go opposite arm, opposite leg. Start with the left leg. You're going to come up, touch either your knee, shin, or toes, whichever one you can reach, and then switch it out. Just going back and forth. Now, whichever variation you take, the most important thing, 2 important things, keep your low back against the mat the entire time. As you start moving, your body's going to want to pull away and arch off the ground. Don't let it. Keep the low back down, and make sure you're making contact. You're touching your limbs right above your belly button. That way you know you're bringing your lower body and you're using your upper body. So you're getting that touch right above the belly button. All right. Exercise number 3, plank walk. Okay, so we're going to start the plank. Top of the push-up position. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Step the feet back to about hips width distance. You're going to push back through the heels. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your glutes. Take your belly button towards your spine. Wrap your triceps underneath and then try to lift up through your shoulder blades. And it's going to be a lot of activation here. You should feel like somebody could sit on your back. Now, option to stay here, or you turn it into a plank walk by going down to the right forearm, left forearm, and back up the way you came. Start with the left hand, back up. As you do this, try to keep all your activation. Keep your line through the backside of your body. Make sure you're maintaining a good plank shape, even though you're changing the arms. After that, we've got mountain climbers. So, shake it off. Again, we're going to start in that push-up position. We're just going to bring one knee forward, toe touches, switching out, toe touches, going this way. Okay, so the easy version of this is one leg at a time, the toes touch. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you can actually shift your weight into your hands, chop the feet, and notice the toes don't touch at the top of the climber. It actually just kind of hovers and then goes back. All right. Fucking tired already. Those are mountain climbers. Step back lunges. Real simple. It's a lunge, but you're moving backward. This is going to work on your legs, but also your sense of balance, which is really important. So we're going to start at athletic position, leg your feet. Take a step back, land on your toes, take your back knee straight down, chest stays above the hips. We're going to lunge, knees not going to quite touch the ground. Then we're coming back. Okay? Do whatever you need to do with your hands to stay balanced. Maybe it's on the hips. I like to do kind of like a run, or maybe you can keep my guard up. Whatever feels nice. So this is the easy version. Hard version is to add a jump. Again, you're really going to want to use your arms on this one. Most important thing there, imagine you're walking on train tracks, not a tightrope. Okay? So you want to keep 2 train tracks, step back on the rail. Okay, try not to, you get to doing a tightrope. It's going to be really hard to balance. It's going to beat up your knees. Okay, after that we've got the crab walk. Sit on your back, plant your feet, plant your hands, kind of this reverse tabletop situation. When we get to the top, I want to make sure my shoulders are over top of my hands and my heels are underneath my knees. From here, I'm engaging my hamstrings, my glutes, low back. Belly's going to stay kind of soft here. Okay? It's really a back line exercise. Everything's going to tighten and send your core upward, and then So option 1 is to hold it here. Option 2 is to add the walk. Opposite leg, opposite arm. We're going to start with the left foot. Left foot and right foot move about 2 inches forward. Then right, left, right, and then back. Now this one, you can see how my hips are already sagging. This one is really important. Keep your front line nice straight tabletop. So keep that in mind. If you want to add the walk, really use your core. Try to keep that straight line through your core. You should be able to balance a bowl of cereal on your belly without spilling it. Okay, last one. After that, the runner's arms. So this is a really cardiovascular intensive exercise, maybe an anaerobic. And basically, you want to think of sprinting, but it's only from the waist up. So we don't have any room to sprint here. So what we're going to do is kind of stand with 1 foot forward. I'll put my right foot forward so you can see this side of the body. You're going to stand 50-50, balance across both feet. Kind of on the balls of my toes though. Elbows in. I'm just going to throw one arm forward, one arm back if I'm sprinting. And then just switch it out. And remember, I'm not just going for my elbows, right? That's just biceps. What I want to do is use my serratus, my obliques, my core, my shoulder, arm, the whole thing. I'm swinging in. When you get going fast, it looks like that. Another thing to keep in mind is you're on the balls of your toes. You might also want to get your hips into it a little bit. So when I throw this arm forward, throw my hip forward, this hip comes back a tiny bit. Then the opposite, when I'm throwing my right arm forward, throws this hip forward. So actually, you're using your entire body even though you're only swinging your arms. That's also going to be really important. Translates really well to being able to throw your punches. So you're starting with your feet first, you're turning, you're throwing that arm forward. Alright, so real quick, I don't know if you noticed, but this workout we're going in an order. It goes total body, legs, core, arms, and then it repeats for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th station. So that's really important to keep in mind because that makes this really changeable. If you have something that you want to work on for legs or chest or arms or whatever, just rotate it out, throw it in there. If you want to do push-ups or clapping push-ups or whatever, it's a great opportunity to do that either the 4th or the 8th station. All right. That being said, we're going to do a real quick warm-up. A lot of these exercises, you're moving fast, you're jumping, doing these things, so it's really easy to tweak something. So take time to warm up. This warm-up we're going to do is the same one we do at Style Training, the same one that the fight team uses. It's really, really simple. We're going to roll out all the joints from head to toe and then do some jumping jacks. So first thing, ankle rolls, right foot forward, ball your toe, just start drawing a circle with your heel. So your heel comes up, around, you're pushing down and you ball your foot the entire time. These are super boring, but they're really, really important, especially doing those high knees, jumping jacks, jump squats, all that stuff. You don't want to tweak your ankle. So you're going to do about like 10 to 12, and then just switch it, start rolling the heel, drawing circles with your heel going the other way. And there's some construction going on outside, so I hope you can't hear that jackhammer too loudly. So let's switch that out. Left foot forward, again, drawing circles with the heels, going counterclockwise, stand on the ball of your toe. Nice and slow. Explore the range of motion. So if you feel like there are any sticking points or any popping, just kind of like try to lay off of that a little bit and then work into it. So maybe your circles get smaller and then you start drawing bigger circles. So let's switch that out. Circling now, drawing circles, other direction. All right, that's good. Next up is knee circles. You're gonna stand with the feet together, a little bend in the knees. Place both hands on the outsides of your knees to kind of guide them, and then we're gonna just start circling all the way around in a counterclockwise motion. So again, we're kind of pushing out to the side, sending them backwards. We're not locking out or hyperextending, and we're pushing them to the side and circling around. So you're also going to feel some rotation in your ankles when you do this, staying balanced across your feet. and switch it up. All right, next one is going to be the leg swings. So typically what you want to do, post one arm on the wall, plant your foot, and just start swinging your leg side to side, making sure you turn and face your hip the way that you're swinging your leg through. So I'm going to turn and face my right when I'm swinging my left leg, or I'm going to make sure that I pivot, my hips face the left when I'm swinging my right leg. Okay. If you don't have a wall, do the same exercise but just standing. You can take one foot back, skip your leg that swing. I'm just going to kind of throw it up there. And I'm going to use my torso to turn against it a little bit, but watch your low back here. Keeping my elbows in. Just kind of feeling that elasticity, your side body, the outside of your hip. Just getting the blood flow. Got about 10 of these, maybe 2 more. And the other side. Again, just drop the left foot back. Whatever foot you're swinging, that's when you want to drop back. Then maybe it's just a tiny movement at first, right? Depending on how tight you feel, and you could eventually try to get that leg up to shoulder height. Again, feeling that stretch on the outside of your hip, a little bit in the side. What we don't want to do is like really crank it and feel it in your low back. Probably should have said that earlier, so if you did that, I apologize. All right, spinal twist, keep the elbows in. Just gonna rotate from side to side. If this feels pretty good, you can start to extend your arms outward. It's gonna put more pressure, more twist on the spine. So if I go elbows out, get a little bit more torque, and then the most torque is arms straight out. Be careful with that one. Maybe slow it down a little bit. Good, all right, next is shoulders. So shoulders, we're going teacups. We're gonna start with the right hand, place the other hand on your belly, standing tall, pretend that you have a cup of tea, and then just take it away. As you take it away, you're gonna rotate underneath your arm, circle around. Notice that I'm not spilling my cup of tea. Still holding it upright, and then I rotate all the way around, bring it around in front, circle it overhead, and come back down to where I started. So I never spill my tea, I'm taking it away, circling it out, I'm almost making a figure 8 shape with my hand. And you can do, to listen to your body, figure out how tight you are. If you feel really tight, you can really get your body into it, turn your shoulder over to the side, and kind of do one of those, bring your body into it. Okay, so play around with that one. Maybe if you're feeling really loose, you keep it really tight and controlled. Okay, so not so much movement in the shoulders, we bring it in, rotating it around. And I know we don't have weights, but you can do this with a 25-pound plate. If you want to see if you're cheating, you do this with your shoe, and just kind of want to hold it in a way that's not going to bump your arm on the way through. But just kind of, if you want to use something, make sure that you're keeping your palm upright. I like using my shoe. It also makes you look like a fucking weirdo if you're doing this at the gym. Alright, so same thing, going the other direction. So we're going to offer our tea to our friends, circle it up overhead like a waiter, bring it down around the front. Again, the palm stays up, all the way around to the back, and bring it through. So these are great. This warms up a lot of stuff. Side body, shoulders, rotator cuff. But so these are great to do before you're golfing, for sure. Boxing classes. I do them before yoga classes sometimes too, especially if it's one of those Miami-style yoga classes. It's really just a boot camp, because you know your shoulders are going to get torched. Same thing on the other side, palm up. I'm going to offer my tea to my friends. Take it back through, circle around, up overhead, down where you started. Make sure you're breathing through this. We're almost done with the warm-up. I know it's kind of boring. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't. Just remember, the better you warm up, the harder you can push yourself when it counts. The harder you can push yourself, the more calorie burn you're going to get, the better you're going to feel about the workout. And then also the other side of that is, if you warm up, you're not going to injure yourself. So you can keep working out. You're not going to feel like shit. You're not going to tear your labrum and then find out that you can't do anything for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Okay, tearing your labrum is pretty extreme. You probably wouldn't do that in this circuit, but I think you get the idea. So notice I'm a little tighter on my left shoulder, so I really kind of use my upper body to lean into it. And that's okay, but eventually, and personally, I want to get to a point where I can keep it real tight. Like on my right side. But we'll get there. It's the same side that I had a shoulder injury on, so it's not really surprising. All right, shoulders feeling good. Now we're gonna start to get the heart going with a couple of different types of jumping jacks. 20 each. So the first one's regular jumping jacks. Notice that I'm keeping my arms bent 90 degrees and I'm not going past my shoulders, just going up to shoulder level because we're warming up. Don't want to overextend anything. I've been talking, I totally lost count. Let's call it 15, 16, 17, 18. On this next one, we're going to keep jumping, just take it wide. Palms face forward, arms going wide, legs go a little wider. Kind of like stretching these muscles in your back. Really trying to stretch the chest out. Follow that, 15, 16, 17. This next one's really fun. All right, we're gonna cross the arms and the legs in the front. Takes a little while to get used to, but sometimes gazing down and watching your limbs cross can help. That feels pretty good. You gaze forward. So this is continuing to warm everything up. Now we're really bringing the hip flexors into it. And we'll call that 15, 16, 17, 18. Almost down, one more. This one's the toughest. You're gonna reach down, but we're gonna touch the instep of the opposite foot. Almost like you're playing hacky sack. 9, 10. And 19. And 20. All right, that's the warm up. Take a little break, rest about a minute, minute and a half, and we'll go into the circuits. Moving to the circuits again, we're going active for 40 seconds, resting for 20. Once we do all 8 stations, rest for about a minute, minute and a half, do it again. So this workout, I was looking at the tape, the warm-up was a little longer than I wanted it to be, but remember, you can always fast forward through the fundamentals of all of those motions and get right to the warm-up whenever you start this video. So the warm-up plus one time through is going to be roughly 8-9 minutes. Another time through is roughly 18 minutes. So really this workout could be 30 minutes long, or it could be an hour long. Depends on if you want to go through this circuit twice, 3 times, 5 times, 8 times, whatever it is. I would recommend going up to 8. By the time you're getting to there, you probably want to switch out the exercises and start confusing your body, but we'll get to that. I'm going to set my timer. Hopefully you still have this boxing timer app. They are not sponsored with this video. But if you don't, you should definitely get it. I know we've used it before. It's probably the best interval timer that I've seen. So I'm going to set I'm going to set the round time to 40 seconds. The warnings at 10 seconds. You can put that wherever you want. And then the rest at 20. All right. I'm going to get this started. We're going to go through this once together. After it's completed, feel free to rewind. Do as many times as you want. But for right now, we're going to start in 10 seconds. First exercise, high knees. I'm going to face this way, so I don't make any weird faces. Right hand to the belly button. And try to stay loose. Remember, loose muscles are fast muscles. Try to bring those knees up. Thighs are hitting your hands. Keep your hands at your belly button. Really chop the feet, stay on your toes. Keep breathing. It's fucking hard at the end. Just keep chopping. Stay on your toes. That's 10 seconds. Almost there. And time. 20 seconds rest. I quit early there. Don't do that. Breathe in through your nose, out through the mouth. Next thing we got are squats. If Feet are shoulder width distance. Hands stay in. All right. I'm gonna start the easiest variation. Try to get my heart rate back a little bit. Remember, sit back into the heels. Gaze forward. Nice, tall, proud chest. You want to start getting the arms into it. And remember, when you come down, the knees are always pointing along your big toes. Okay, we don't want to dump the knees inward or really splay them outward. Breathing in. All right. Shake it out. Make your way down to your back. Got the beetle. So as you rest, this is a good time. Find your low back. Press it into the ground. Try to relax everything. This one's a little bit of an active rest. It's not too bad. Try to keep those legs straight. Full extension. Arms go all the way overhead. Leg goes all the way down to the ground. Meeting right above the belly button. Relax your neck. Keep your eyes focused on a point directly above your eyes on the ceiling. Just keep chopping it out. 10 seconds. And time. All right. Next, we've got our forearm plank, or the plank, optional plank walk. So notice I'm always setting up your rest periods. You always want to begin to set up so you can go right into it by the time the timer hits. So again, option staying in your plank, or you can start walking it. One arm at a time. Remember, keep a tight plank if you're going to walk. Imagine you're balancing a bowl of cereal on your back. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders when you go into plank. And then forearms, make it number 11 when you walk them down to the ground. All right. Next one's mountain climbers, so I'm just going to hang out here. Loosen up the legs a little bit. Shake out the arms. Should be coming down a little bit. Front loaded this circuit with the hardest exercises at the front. Into mountain climb position, shoulders over hands. And bringing the knees up. Option to plant the feet. Okay, moving a little slower. If that feels pretty good, and start just hovering the knees forward. Toes won't touch. Put a little bit more weight into the hands. Just keep pumping the legs. Can't be more than 15 left. There's 10. That's time. All right, mountain climbers. We got our step back lunges. Get back up to your feet. Shake things out a little bit. Almost there, we got 3 more. Okay, you can do this. All the hard stuff's behind us. Unless you want to make this stuff hard, which you're definitely free to do. Here, my step back lunges. Keep my shoulders above my hips. Laying on that toe. Back knee goes down but doesn't touch. Maybe do 5, 10 of these, and then add a jump in there. Then go back to the regular walk. And add the jump. Add the walk. You're going to challenge yourself, but don't get off balance. This exercise is a lot about balance. All right. Good. Next one's the crab walk. You sit down on your butt. Again, when we're up in our crab, I'm going to try to keep my shoulders over my hands. my heels underneath my knees, and top, just like a tabletop. And then bellies, chest and belly are real flat. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to challenge yourself to add the walking component. Opposite leg, opposite arm. So left, right, left, right. Those are the feet, by the way. Right foot, right foot, left, left, right, 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 left, right, left. Both hands and feet. Moving about 2 inches. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I should not be walking. My belly's sagging a little bit too much. Time. All right, last exercise. Those are the running arms. I'm going to take my left foot forward, very similar to my fighting stance. Bending the knees, down toes of my feet. Elbows are going to stay in. And go. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Keep breathing. Remember, total body, really whip the entire arms. Empty out your gas tank. The last one. Empty out everything you got. Should be completely spent after this. 10 seconds. Push 3 toes. Use your hips. Time. All right. Stand tall. Arms up. Make sure you're breathing. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Yeah, we got about a minute and a half rest here. And do the same thing again. Real quick, all the exercises with a slower tempo. It's important to realize that you can do this no matter how good you're feeling. Okay, doing the warm up and going through the cycle in this slower tempo that I'm about to show you is still 100% better than not doing anything at all. So you start with the high knees. It's real simple right here. We're just going to march and loosen up the hips. Next one on squats. Really, it's going to be the same tempo that I did at the first video right here. It's just really focusing on your form. We're going to be taking about 4 seconds to get to the bottom, and then another 3 seconds to get to the top. Okay, so this tempo, it's kind of more about strength and mobility than it is about cardio. Until it takes strength, I'm developing my ability to control my body through that range of motion. Okay, next one is the beetle. So I'm just gonna sit on my back, get into this hollow body with my low back flat against the mat. I'm just gonna come up and just grab my knee, pause for a minute, switch it out. Okay, just going nice and slow, focusing on my low back and my core staying tight, even as my arms and legs kind of stretch away. Okay, that's that. Now for the plank. Plank's real simple. I'm just gonna hold plank. Hands underneath the shoulders, step the feet back. I really want to focus on everything, not just my chest and my arms. So I'm gonna push back through the heels, squeeze the quads and thighs, squeeze the glutes. And notice how that kind of rolls my tailbone towards my heels. Then I'm going to push down through my hands. I'm just going to breathe here. Again, wrap the triceps in. Okay, planks. Mountain climbers. Okay, so mountain climbers have a real slow variation as well. I'm just going to be right here. Get in position, plank position. Just going to step, left foot up to the left hand. Pause for a minute, get a good stretch in the hip. Back to starting position. Right foot forward. Back to the start, left foot forward, and just kind of march it out. Focusing on mobility and core strength. For mountain climbers, man, I feel like we missed something here, but mountain climbers, got legs, step back lunges. All right, so again, step back lunges, similar to the first variation to the last one, but we're gonna go a little slower, walking back on the railroad tracks. Go down, just come back up, nice and balanced. down, back up. Finding that balance. Making sure that I sit back, chest above the hips, knee stays above the ankle. Looks like I'm not stepping quite back far enough. Right there, that's good. That's the knee above the ankle. There. So again, go real slow. Crab. Okay, so the crab, we're right here. Variation would be, we can do the walk from the seated position. Okay, the butt stays low, hands underneath the shoulders. But this time the feet are out in front a little bit. And I can walk opposite arm, opposite leg, left foot, right hand, right, left, right. I can still do this. This is a real easy version. The other version would be the one we started off with the last circuit, where we just take the shape and hold it. Hands underneath the shoulders, heels underneath the knees. Just using the glutes, hamstrings, low back to lift the hips up. We're flat as a tabletop. Okay, last one, the running arms. There's really no way to do that one easy, I guess. I guess you could just kind of throw your arms, but really, you're still into punching that bag in your backyard. One thing I like to do are just kind of standing and throwing some punches. So I'm going to stand feet shoulder width distance. I'm going to bring my hands up to my guard. I'm going to shift a little bit of weight over my left side, throw my left hand. A little bit of weight back to the right side, throw my right hand. Stay on the toes of the feet. Okay, notice how I'm looking down my arm. Shoulder comes up to protect the chin. My chin's staying tucked. And I'm looking through the brow of the brow of my face. So almost to my forehead. Chin's tucked, forehead's kind of down, and I'm looking through my forehead. Shift over to the left hand, right for the right hand. Then just find a rhythm. Kind of shifting back and forth with the balls of your feet. Notice how each punch is full length, and I'm turning it over right when I get to the target, and I make my fist. Okay, it's getting real loose, getting used to that snap. From there, you can take it overhead. This one's a little tougher to get the timing on, but it really burns out the shoulders. And then you bring it back to out front. All right, that's it. Let's do a real quick cool down. Okay, did all that work. I really want to stretch everything out, make sure we're not stored, so I'm gonna keep this just a couple of minutes, I promise. Start with mountain pose. Bring the toes together to touch. Bounce across your feet, circle your arms up, overhead. You're gonna reach and get really tall. Push down through the feet, reach up through the hands. Option to interlace all 10 fingers. Point your index. Biceps are gonna extend along the ears. And we're just breathing here. Okay, with every breath cycle, try to push down a little bit more through the feet and reach a little taller through the hands. Whatever you do, don't crunch the shoulders up towards the ears. Okay, we want the shoulder blades to flow down the back so the shoulders are away from the ears, but that doesn't mean we stop reaching through our hands. Okay, so the shoulder blades slide down, hands go up. Let's get one more inhale. On the exhale, crescent moon to your left. So I'm going to mirror you. Send your hips to the right. Reach your arms up and over to the left. Again, nice and straight through the arms. Balance across the feet. Pushing the hip out to the side. Then reaching up and back a tiny bit. Breathing here. Inhale back to center. Lungs fill up. Exhale. Crescent moon the other side, hips to the left, reaching your arms up and back to the right. Breathing here. Inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, take a little back bend. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Release the hands. Bring the palms to the low back. Bring the elbows back toward one another. And then just start arching backwards. So I'm taking the elbows towards one another, opening the chest, and lifting it up. Not dumping into my low back too much. Back my hands, and I'm supporting myself with my hands. This is just like your camel pose, but you're not on your knees. Just standing. On the next inhale, come back to standing, bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your waist, slight bend in the knees, all the way down. Take your hands to your knees, shins, ankles, all the way down to the ground, whatever feels comfortable. Maybe just a couple of breaths here in an easy fold, and then try to make it more difficult. If you want to make it more difficult, begin to shift a little bit of weight into your toes, gaze back between your legs, roll your tailbone up toward the ceiling, then you can grab on the backs of your calves and sort of lift on your calves as you take the crown of your head down. And halfway lift, back's flat. A nice stretch, reset the spine. Fold forward. I'm just going to roll up like a slinky, step one vertebrae at a time. Alright. Let's take a nice wide stance. Straddle it out. So we're not going too far, just something that's comfortable. And interlace all 10 fingers behind your back. I'm going to stand sideways again. So we're here. On the inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, send your hands down. Then on the exhale, forward fold, hinge from your waist. Allow your hands to float up as you fold. Okay, so we want to keep the palms together, even if that means your hands are on your back. You don't quite have the flexibility. Want those palms together first. Keep those palms together. Then you can start trying to lift your hands up. And eventually let them float up towards your head, eventually going over your head. And then your next inhale, take your hands back to your low back, release the grip, thumbs to the hip creases, breathe in, rise all the way up, use your hands. Nice, all right, last one, little shoulder stretch. The golfer stretch, just take your right arm, cross it over, well this is your left arm, cross it over, hook below the elbow, and just pull it across. And 5 good breaths here. And switch it out. Right arm across the body, hook below the elbow. Start pulling it across. All right, that's it. Nice job. Do it again tomorrow.